What if your entire future depended on one friendship, and one mistake could destroy everything in a single moment? Imagine working your whole life for a dream that always stays just out of reach. A small house, a peaceful life, a place where nobody controls you. Now imagine losing that dream because the world was never built for people like you. This is not just a story about two workers during the Great Depression. It is a story about loneliness, hope, power, and the painful truth that sometimes good people still end up broken. Today we're exploring Of Mice and Men by John Steinbeck. This short novel follows two traveling workers, George and Lenny, who moved from ranch to ranch looking for jobs during the Great Depression in America. They share one simple dream: to someday own a small piece of land and live freely. But beneath this simple story, the book reveals deep truths about friendship, loneliness, dreams, and the harsh reality of life. One of the strongest lessons in the book is that human beings are not meant to live emotionally alone. George and Lenny are very different from each other. George is small, smart, and practical. Lenny is physically strong but mentally limited and innocent like a child. Taking care of Lenny is difficult. Sometimes George becomes frustrated and tired of the responsibility. But despite everything, George stays with him. And that matters because almost everyone else in the story is lonely. The ranch workers spend their lives moving from place to place with no family, no close relationships, and no emotional support. They work hard, earn little money, and then move on again. Most of them have nobody who truly listens to them. That loneliness slowly destroys people from the inside. Candy, the old ranch worker, fears becoming useless because of his age. Crooks lives isolated from everyone because of racism. Curly's wife desperately searches for attention because nobody really sees her as a person. Every character is emotionally starving for connection. George and Lenny's friendship becomes rare and powerful because they have something most people around them do not: someone who genuinely cares whether they live or die. And that idea still matters today. We live in a world where people are more connected online than ever before, yet many still feel deeply alone. Someone can have thousands of followers and still feel invisible. Real connection is not about constant communication. It is about knowing someone is truly there for you. Maybe you know someone who always acts funny, loud, or confident around others, but when they are alone, they struggle silently. Sometimes one honest conversation helps more than hours of advice. A single supportive friend can completely change someone's mental and emotional state. Do not underestimate the importance of being present for people. You do not always need perfect words. Sometimes loyalty, patience, and attention matter more than solutions. Throughout the story, George and Lenny keep talking about their dream farm. They imagine a small house, some animals, and a peaceful life where they answer to nobody. Lenny especially loves the idea of taking care of rabbits. At first, the dream sounds simple, but the more the story continues, the more we understand something important. The dream itself keeps them alive emotionally. The dream gives meaning to their suffering. Every difficult day becomes easier because they believe something better is waiting ahead. And soon other characters become emotionally attached to this dream too. Candy wants to join them because he fears dying alone. Crooks briefly becomes interested because he secretly wants dignity and belonging. The dream becomes bigger than land or money. It becomes hope. This is something many people experience in real life. Sometimes the thing pushing us forward is not what we already have. It is the possibility of something better. A student studies late at night, imagining a better future. A struggling worker keeps going because they want financial freedom one day. A creator uploads videos for years because they believe their hard work will eventually matter. Dreams create emotional energy. But the book also shows another truth. Dreams are fragile. Life can interrupt them at any moment. That does not mean dreaming is useless. It means we should value our goals while understanding reality can be unpredictable. Many people wait forever for the perfect time to start living. They believe happiness only exists in the future. But George and Lenny's story reminds us that sometimes the dream itself becomes the most meaningful part of life. Have a goal that excites you emotionally, not just financially. A meaningful dream can help you survive difficult seasons of life. Another painful lesson in the book is how cruel society can become toward people who do not fit normal expectations. Lenny does not fully understand the world around him. He behaves differently, thinks differently, and reacts differently. Because of this, people misunderstand him constantly. Crook suffers because of racism. He is separated from others simply because of his skin color. Candy fears becoming worthless because he is old and disabled. Curly's wife feels trapped because she is a woman with no real freedom or respect. Every major character in the story is isolated in some way. Steinbeck shows how quickly society labels people instead of understanding them. And honestly, this still happens today. People are judged for mental health struggles, appearance, background, income, personality, or mistakes from their past. Someone who acts differently is often mocked before being understood. Think about schools, workplaces, or social media. People often attack what they do not understand. A quiet person is called rude. An emotional person is called weak. A struggling person is called lazy. The world moves fast, and empathy becomes rare. But this book quietly asks an important question. What if the people we judge the fastest are the ones who need kindness the most? George understands Lenny better than anyone else. He knows Lenny is not dangerous by intention. He knows Lenny has a good heart, even though his actions sometimes create terrible consequences. This creates one of the biggest emotional conflicts in the story. Can someone be innocent and harmful at the same time? Real life is complicated like that too. Sometimes people cause pain without fully understanding the impact of their actions. That does not remove responsibility, but it reminds us to see human beings with more depth and compassion. Before judging someone quickly, try understanding their struggles first. Empathy does not excuse harmful behavior, but it helps us see people more clearly. Throughout the story, power constantly appears in unhealthy forms. Curly uses aggression and intimidation because he feels insecure. The stronger characters often dominate weaker people emotionally or physically. People with less power stay silent because they fear losing their jobs or safety. Even small amounts of power change how people behave. Curly's wife has very little freedom in her own life, yet she still uses the little social power she has over crooks and others when she feels ignored or hurt. This is one of the most realistic parts of the book. People who feel powerless sometimes try to control others just to feel important. You can see this everywhere. A boss humiliates employees because they enjoy authority. Someone online insults strangers to feel superior. A person who feels insecure in life becomes controlling in relationships. The book shows that power alone does not make someone strong. Character does. George, despite his frustrations, usually protects Lenny instead of exploiting him. That quiet responsibility makes him stronger than the aggressive people around him. Real strength is not about dominance. It is about restraint, patience, and responsibility. Pay attention to how people treat those with less power than themselves. That usually reveals their true character. Here's something many readers miss. The farm was probably never going to happen. Not because George and Lenny were lazy, not because the dream was impossible, but because the dream represented emotional freedom more than physical land. The characters are trapped inside a harsh economic system where poor workers constantly move, struggle, and survive day by day. The dream farm becomes a psychological escape from hopelessness. And honestly, people still do this today. Many people tell themselves, one day when I make enough money, then I'll finally feel peaceful. One day when I become successful, then I'll finally relax. One day when life becomes perfect, then I'll finally be happy. But happiness keeps moving further away. The book quietly suggests that chasing a dream without building emotional peace in the present can leave people exhausted forever. That is what makes the story so heartbreaking. The dream mattered because it gave comfort, not because it was guaranteed to come true. One of the hardest truths in the book is that good intentions alone are not enough. Lenny never wants to hurt anyone. In fact, he loves soft things, enjoys simple pleasures, and depends deeply on George's guidance. But because he lacks awareness of his own strength and actions, terrible situations keep happening around him. This creates emotional tension throughout the entire story. George constantly tries to protect Lenny from danger, but eventually he realizes something painful. Sometimes love cannot stop reality. This lesson feels uncomfortable because we naturally want stories where good people are rewarded and innocence protects people from consequences. But real life is often more complicated. A person can mean well and still damage relationships. A parent can love their child deeply and still make mistakes that affect them forever. A friend can care about someone and still fail them during an important moment. Human beings are imperfect, and part of maturity is understanding that intentions matter, but actions matter too. This idea becomes especially powerful near the end of the story. George faces an impossible emotional decision. He must choose between hope and mercy, between protecting Lenny and accepting the painful reality of the world around them. The ending hurts because there is no truly happy solution, only difficult choices. That emotional realism is one reason the book has remained powerful for generations. Life does not always give clean endings. Sometimes people do their best and still lose something precious. Good intentions should be matched with awareness, responsibility, and emotional honesty. Caring about people is important, but understanding consequences matters too. The strongest lesson in Of Mice and Men is this: human beings can survive hardship more easily than loneliness. The characters in the story are not destroyed only by poverty or difficult work. Many of them are destroyed emotionally because they feel unseen, unwanted, and disconnected from others. George and Lenny survive longer emotionally because they share hope and companionship. Even their dream becomes powerful mainly because they imagine living it together. This reflects something deeply human. People can tolerate stress, failure, and struggle when they feel emotionally connected to others. But isolation slowly drains meaning from life. And in modern life, this lesson may matter more than ever. Many people spend years chasing achievement while neglecting connection. They work constantly, but never slow down for meaningful conversations. They build online identities, but struggle to build trust. They surround themselves with entertainment, but still feel emotionally empty. The book reminds us that success without human connection often feels hollow. At the end of life, people rarely wish they had worked more hours or impressed more strangers. They usually wish they had spent more time with people who genuinely mattered. That is why George and Lenny's friendship feels unforgettable. It represents something rare: loyalty in a world built around survival. Today, do one small thing that strengthens a real human connection. Call someone you have not spoken to in a while. Have one honest conversation without distractions. Or simply tell someone that you appreciate them. Not because it sounds emotional or dramatic, because relationships quietly shape the quality of our lives more than we realize. Of Mice and Men is remembered not because it tells a happy story, but because it tells an honest one. It shows how fragile dreams can be, how lonely people become, when nobody understands them, and how friendship can still create meaning inside a harsh world. And maybe that is the most painful truth of all. Sometimes the thing people need most is not money, success, or power. Sometimes they just need someone who stays.